Hello, my name is Tony. It's nice to meet you again. Today I'm going to talk about how to deal with fear. Because fear is a crippling phenomenon if you don't take hold of it and control it. It's very important. People's lives have been destroyed because of fear, including my own. When fear gets in your head and it runs away with you, you have to find a way to control it and to stop it. And through my studies and through a lot of trial and error, I have found 3 very effective ways that work for me. Okay? Sometimes one way works, sometimes another way works. But one thing you cannot do is just let fear sit in your mind. Sit idly by while it takes over your life. Okay? The first thing is you can ignore the thought. Because that's what fear is thoughts. You can choose to ignore it. And by ignoring it, I mean not giving it any emotion. For example, a scary thought enters your mind. You just acknowledge it. And then you say to yourself, I'm not going to give this fear any emotion. And just try not to feel anything. And sometimes that fear will just kind of disappear. Because you're not giving it power. Fear is like the boogeyman, okay? The more you think about it, the more powerful that fear becomes. The less you think about it, the more it goes down and eventually goes away, okay? But a lot of times that technique does not work. You acknowledge it and then the fear somehow takes grip of you. So you can try the second technique, which is to fight that thought. For example, let's say you have a child and you're afraid that child is going to get abducted. Okay, well that's a terrible thought. Your child's going to school and you're thinking, okay, maybe while they're walking home, they're getting abducted. Well, you can fight that thought. You can fight it by thinking to yourself, instead of thinking the worst possible scenario, think of the best possible scenario. Like, not only is not my child going to get abducted, but my child is going to help other children cross the street safely and is going to be their hero. Or my child is out right now smelling some flowers and learning about horticulture. Goofy example, but all I'm saying is sometimes instead of thinking of the worst possible scenario, you think of the best possible scenario. Instead of saying, things are going to be terrible, you say to yourself, things are going to be incredible. Okay? But sometimes the mind has a way of tricking you into still thinking the worst possible thoughts. Like, oh, my child's sniffing flowers, and there's a big bee in that flower, and it's going to sting my child in the nose, and he's going to have anaphylactic shock, and he's going to end up in the hospital or worse. Alright? Which comes to my third way of dealing with fear. Okay? And that is, think of something else. Okay? So you're not ignoring it. You're not fighting the fear. You are thinking of something else completely. Okay? And that can help you out a lot too. Just turn on the television, see what's on, take out a book. Think of your favorite character, comic book character, superhero, whatever you want. Just get your mind completely off it. Turn on some music. Start singing along with the music. Start dancing. I promise you, we can only think of one thought at a time, and that thought will disappear. Time will go by, and then you realize, oh, my kid's already home, and you've forgotten completely about it. So those are my 3 largest techniques in dealing with fear. There are many, many more. Trial and error. You just find out what is best for you. Okay? This is Tony, and I want you to not be afraid. Because fear is a crippling emotion. Okay? It is needed just a little bit of the time, but the rest of the time, it's not needed. Alright? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.